I hope that was the first noise heard on the recording.
It's concerning that it probably is. That's not... I don't listen to too many actual play podcasts, but not many of them begin with an exertion.
See, now you need to edit that out and just start with, I hope that was the first noise on the recording.
Snake, I had a horrible idea.
You did?
If I ever could find the rule set for Legacy Wars, I'm so setting it System Mastery.
I think they'd appreciate, but it wouldn't take them that long, just like 5 A4 pages.
I know, but still. Possibilities of the shit there.
Okay, Eric, you're gonna set the scene. Come on, let's do it.
Okay, yes. The three of you are on a boat. A rather empty boat with a sparse crew sailing through the calm, dark black waters of this land. You're headed to the land of Grimwood, a somewhat isolated country that's known for always being a bit different, always being a bit weird. The creatures there are strange, bizarre, and frightening, and the people tend to not interact too much with others. There is some trade. Their main exports are a lot of obsidian slate goods, as well as certain fireproof materials. The crew of the boat is mostly non-talkative, but the ride is uneventful. It's mostly calm. The ocean is incredibly still. Occasionally the crew feels tense. There is just an air that you're in a dangerous place, but these moments pass and result calmly. Why are the three of you on this boat? Why are you coming to this place?
Before anyone can answer, I use Earthball. Okay, sorry. Okay, serious face. Who wants to answer first?
You guys can go ahead. I've got mine in mind.
Sweet.
I wanna go last. No.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god.
Alright, let's we go last. Neo, you're first, because we both claimed last place first.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so why are we coming to this land?
Yeah, why are you coming?
Okay. I am coming to this land because I felt the winds of change on the horizon, and they guided me here. I'm just coming here to see because I'm pretty sure some major shit's about to go down, and I want to be there.
Okay.
I am fleeing to this land because my order, the Order of the Beckoning Father, was destroyed by other separations of our religion, smaller orders, many greater orders, and I just was sent out basically as a kind of last-ditch effort that should everyone else in the Order of the Beckoning Father fall, someone will carry on the word. So I'm fleeing from them, hoping to revitalize my faith in a new land.
Okay.
I'm here to make money and kill animals.
Alright, it's... Oh, go ahead.
That's what I want.
Alright.
That's all.
It's been a long boat ride. You've probably been sailing for about it's certainly overnight, at least maybe even 2 days. You know this is the last leg of your journey, though, and there's not much left. Have you talked to each other much? Do you have anything to say to each other?
I have spent much of my time on the boat kind of in reading from my holy book and kind of in prayer, so I don't really go out of my way to talk to other people. Other deckhands talk to me because my holy symbols are kind of rare and unique. They kind of invite questioning.
I have just been standing for like most of the journey, just standing at the end of the boat. I forget what the fucking seafaring term is for the point facing towards where they're going. What is that called?
The bow?
Yeah, I've just been standing there, just looking into the distance. Occasionally people come up and ask me what I'm doing, who I am, and I just reply with, just one sentence long responses.
Actually, I will break. I do, at some points, put my book down and go around. And at one point I do, because I do go up and ask you, because I realise you're giving everyone rather terse responses. And I do ask what you're travelling for.
Alright, and I say to see what happens.
to see what happens. Do you have any goals, or are you just an observer?
I have goals. Observing is one of them, yes.
Man of few words, aren't you?
I've heard people have said that of me, yes.
And yet now I'm another. I've heard many things about these lands. Not all of them good, in fact many of them quite bad. But it does seem to draw people to it.
Yes. I don't believe I've ever been here before.
Neither have I, and that is perhaps for the best for some of us.
Hmm.
By the by,
Mm-hmm.
there is a very angry person on the lower side of the ship with 2 swords.
I have noticed him, yes.
Have you gotten any words out of him?
No. I believe he will soon have no choice.
No choice?
No choice at all.
Do I have a choice?
I can't say. I imagine we'll get to know each other very well.
Angry.
Perhaps, perhaps. I'm going to go and see what is on that man's mind.
You do
Oh, yeah.
that.
So I turn and I basically head to Wilhelm.
Before you drag
Riveting
me
dialogue so far.
before you drag me in, angry equals. So Wilhelm has during this travel alternated between doing many things like sleeping in his. Actually, do we get rooms or do we sleep in hammocks somewhere?
Yeah, there's probably like a few different rooms, but it's like 4 people to a room.
Sleeping in his bunk bed, leaning against the wall, sitting down in the cafeteria, reading a book in the cafeteria, leaning against like masts, looking out over the sea, maybe reading a book on deck, maybe reading a book on his bed. Basically, he's a very boring person that just assumes a position and you see him in different position all day. Very angry indeed.
So you haven't been actively angry at all times. That's disappointing. How
By the
dare
way,
you?
can we just sort of just describe just our basic appearance and what we have on hand?
Yeah.
All right. So I just figured I start off I am wearing a pretty nice looking outfit, but the most notable feature I do have a fine sword on me. It's in a hilt. Standard place where you keep the hilt. And I am also wearing a very lavishly designed iron mask, painted completely white, covering the upper half of my face.
As for me, I've kind of obviously I'm not in full armor walking around on deck, so it's rather simple, just kind of leather gherkin, kind of patchwork trousers, boots, and his kind of hair is very long, scraggly, his face is quite withered and worn. He kind of has a faraway look in his eye because he has spent the last decade basically wandering as a nomad looking for a place to re-establish his faith. Years haven't been too kind.
Wilhelm is a very big, stern-looking man. Just to make a point, he is towering over you. I'm just making that a point.
Okay. Actually, that's the thing, just for the dialogue. When I do go and talk to you, and I notice you're reading a book, I do actually offer my holy book as reading material. Because of course I do.
I just look at it. Does it have cool animals in it?
Several?
I'm interested.
Give it a read and get back to me. It's not often people get to read this book.
This better not be religious propaganda. I have
One of the crew members walks past. Oh god, it's one of those furries again.
Apparently furries is a thing here.
I just kind of look. I just kind of glare at him for a second, and a bit confused, then turn back to Wilhelm.
Wilhelm has opened this book. Huh. I'm suspecting this is a religious book.
What gave you that idea?
These words about the Holy Father and so on.
Yes, it does open a bit strong on that front, I will grant.
Could have been could have toned it down, you know. Could have been a bit easier, ease the reader in.
Well, once you've read it, get back to me. I just kind of like leave him with it, produce a fresh copy from out of my robes.
Yeah.
I have infinite Bibles.
At some point, at some point, that Bible better someone better shoot a fucking arrow into your heart, and the Bible catches it.
I'd be
If you have
offended.
infinite Bibles, at some point you guys get stuck down a hole, and he just starts stacking Bibles to get out of there.
Why would I let someone step on my Bibles?
Good point.
We'll
yeah.
die in the hole.
Snake, after you leave, he just flips through the book and then just throws it over his shoulder.
Does it fly off the side of the ship?
Sure.
I just hear a splash, and a pang of anger flashes through me. I'm not quite sure why.
Snake, you're in the best position to speak on this matter. Does Roderick Chalice have more Bibles than Orlando Irving has handcuffs?
Yeah.
Alright, it's at this point one of the crew members calls out a very lackadaisical, "Land ho!" You look out from the bow, and you can see like a charcoal sliver smudged against the dark sea and the pale sky land approaching. When you finally reach the docks, it's not much. There are 2 buildings there on the shore, and a few meager docks, maybe one other small boat parked there. Or docked there.
Yeah, yeah, that was you, wasn't it, Eric? Steve message.
Yep.
Damn. I was confused. How could
Dare
you do this?
message you.
Lime. Anyways. The grass is all pale tan, dead like winter, but it's still only late summer. The sky itself is a pale amber, thin clouds cover the sky, not blocking out the sun, but obscuring it so there is only a pale light. The sea is still, but very, very dark, almost black instead of blue. There are 2 buildings. One of them, they're both constructed out of wood. One appears slightly quieter. There are you notice several strange creatures perched atop it. They're some sort of bird, it would seem, but like someone has attached a skull to the front of them, covering their head and upper torso.
Ah.
The other building seems to just be a simple wooden shop. It's slightly larger of the 2. There are, seems to be room out back where carts or horses or something like that could be stored. Roll wisdom, all of you.
Nice.
Okay. Shoot, I need
Mark
to get
experience, Wade.
White
Remember
Mask
to mark
and
experience.
Oh yeah.
White Mask and Roderick, you notice like a pair of eyes looking at you from the top of one roof, but those eyes seem to dart away as soon as you both realize it's there.
Okay, I just kind of, without, moving my body at all or my head to look at him, address Roderick and say, "Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
It saw us."
I just nod. This is going to be an interesting land, I can tell.
Alright, so the crew of the ship look around. Whoever they're waiting for does not appear to be here yet, and they're just sort of sitting around the ship. But they make it clear, alright, time for you to get off now.
Alright. As we're exiting the ship, I turn my head to Roderick and say, "You're a man of faith, aren't you?"
That I am. I've travelled to many lands spreading the word, but haven't quite settled on a place to establish yet.
Tell me, did your order have an end time story?
That's one of our key contentions. That's why there were so many separations within the faith. No one could quite decide what came about at the end. I'm of the belief that no good god would set about something like that in stone from the very beginning.
What does the apocalypse look like to you?
That I could not say. I've seen so many versions of it, read so many versions of it. It's all a mishmash.
Oh yeah. Yeah, behind you, you just hear, that's all interesting and stuff. Can you move aside? You're blocking everyone.
Everyone.
Yes, everyone. It's just a full row. You've been standing in the middle of the road. God damn.
Roderick kind of sheepishly steps aside.
I just keep walking forward at the same pace.
I notice him do it, and then I kind of like jog walk a little bit to kind of make stride with him and catch up. You don't much care what others think of you, do you?
I wouldn't say that.
Wait, Eric.
There are some people who have earned that level of respect from me.
Actually, can I spout... Is it spout lore if I want to know what kind of creature it is?
I already sent you what these creatures are.
No, about that skull.
He means in character, I think.
The skull.
Well, yeah, but... Right, that's what I'm saying. I sent you that. I assumed those were just... You would automatically know those 5 creatures.
Ah.
That was... I mean, if you still want to roll for those, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, fuck it.
But of those ones I'll set you, I'll totally just let you already know what they are.
Okay. God damn. Well, I get... Just look... Huh.
Well,
Strange.
that was for nothing then.
You got XP for just being an idiot.
No, it's like, I don't recognize that animal. Hope I get to kill one.
Alright, so yeah, there are 2 buildings, a smaller, darker one, and the larger one where you saw the eyes atop. And other than that, there's paths, one stretches along the coast in one way, one in the other, and one leads inland. It's fairly flat, there are no trees about, you can't really see anything in any direction. What do you do?
I kind of like turn and I look at the 2. I turn and look at the White Mask. I turn and I look at Wilhelm, not knowing either of their names yet. And I do actually ask the White Mask from first hand, what is your name, by the way? I don't believe you told me in our conversation.
To you, I am known as the White Mask.
I suppose you are known by that name now.
Yes.
As for you, I say, turning to Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
I must confess, I came here without much of an idea of the lay of the land.
What land do you come from?
Its name doesn't really matter much anymore. It's not a place I'm going to ever return to. It's not a place I feel defines me all that much.
By the way, White Mask.
Yeah.
Something I need to know. Are your powers magical in nature, or is it just like practical illusions in theory, or is there actual magic going on?
It's mostly illusions, but I mean, it's a mystery. But I mean, I would say that the stuff like, okay, the actual abilities, like skills I perform, like, you know, in the heat of the moment in this time, that's
Right.
all illusions. But like, I would say that my core, you know, the masks of deceit and the myth, that is mystical in nature.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I know. Okay, so yeah, so there are these 2 buildings and not much else. What do you do?
I'm going to discern me some realities.
Okay.
I just
All right.
discerned me some realities.
Ask 3 questions.
Damn it, usually I'm used to the fucking questions being on the left side.
Yeah, I've got the rulebook open for this.
Yeah, so I can link the rulebook for you guys.
Throw it at me.
Oh, here, I might as well link it in. Yeah, sorry, like, I'm going to have stuff up on here in the future, but just for this game, I hadn't been bothered.
Basic. Discerning. Yeah. Okay, so, what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? Pay attention to things watching you may be more. There may be more watching you than you realize.
What here is not what it appears to be.
The smaller of the two houses, the one on the left.
Who's really in control here?
That's interesting. There are multiple parties in control, in different ways. I'm going to go ahead and say there is a great supernatural force that is clearly in control, that you sense a great supernatural power in control in the house at the left. The house on the right, just whoever's in the house is in control. And out on the docks, there is a party maybe not in control, but there is something else watching. There's just another watching presence that's not necessarily in control.
Alright, I turn to Roderick and I say, I asked you about end times for a reason. There are a lot of parties at play here. Follow me. I walk towards the small house.
Kind of feeling something's a bit off with that, I kind of like put my hand on my sword hilt and step forward.
Wilhelm, kind of bemused by this weirdo in the mask, follows.
Is the door to the house open or locked or closed?
It's closed, not locked. It's like a storefront door. It's two doors you could push and open.
Is it dark in there?
Yes, it does appear dark. There are no windows that you can see on the building.
I open it up a smidge and I do take out a torch from my adventuring gear.
It's not pitch black. It's just very dim.
Okay. I open up the door a bit then.
All right, you open up a door a bit. There are how much a bit? Like, are you talking a sliver, or you just open it up?
I'm opening up like not unnoticed. Like I'm not opening up like to be stealthy. I'm just opening up so that I can quickly close it if something in there jumps at me.
Okay.
So basically, just so we can stick our heads in.
Yeah. The interior is dark. There are a few candles lighting it, as well as beams of light coming down from some gaps in the roof. There are a few racks with provisions and a desk at the back where a young lady sits behind it. She appears somewhat startled that you entered, and then, oh, hello, travelers. Please come in.
I open it the whole way, and I say, "You heard the young lady?"
Alright, so I'm assuming you all enter?
Yeah, I walk in, I take my hand off the sword hilt.
I introduce myself and I say, I'm sure you'll understand our caution here. This is the first time we've been in this land. I am the White Mask.
Oh, it's your first time. I see. This land is indeed perilous. There are many dark forces at play here. I do love this land, but there are many things bad about it. Anyways, if it's your first time here, please don't let yourself be fooled by swindlers here. Take this map, and she offers all of you a map. At this point, I would normally give you the map, but it's not finished, so just pretend you have a map.
Nice.
Hey.
I look at the sheet of A4 paper. I'm like, yes, interesting.
Wilhelm just looks like, this map isn't finished, though.
Eric, am I right to assume that you have a specific moment in mind for when Mask of Myth comes into play?
No.
And I should ask about it then.
Oh, that's actually...
Because I just want to remind you that it is arriving in a populated area for the first time.
This is not a populated area.
Yeah, alright.
This is a small outpost where there are probably 3 people here, including her.
Alright. I talk to I go up to the lady and say, what would you say is the nearest populated town of note?
Oh, well, there are 3 towns. I'd say they're about equal distance. I can't speak for the savoriness of any of them. To the west, there is... Look at the names. To the west, there is Port Sumter. That's a rather populated port. I think many travelers enter through there. To the east, there's Bighorn Haven, another tavern. That one's not used quite as much in trade, though I know many still enter the land through here, especially when they do not wish to be detected. And if you travel north inland, there's Fort Thornbush.
I look at Roderick and I say, Port Sumter's a trading post. I'm sure you can do some. I'm sure you can get some good preaching done there.
That I can, and many travellers do need faith for the long cause.
And I go over to Wilhelm and say, plus, it's a good plus is a good. I look at Wilhelm and say, plus, it's a good way to see what animals are most valuable.
Animals, yes.
She sort of smiles at the three of you. So you travel as a party then?
Huh, I guess.
For now.
I do look between the two of them, and a look of unease passes over my face, but I don't question what she said.
She nods. That's good. It's important not to be alone.
Oh no!
Then she died.
There was someone who entered the room, and suddenly...
Austin!
Oh no, said Eric.
Snake, have you paused the recording?
Not yet,
Don't
but I
do
will
it.
now.
Oh wow.
No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay, yes.
I do. All right, we'll keep it going. We'll roleplay in his
Okay,
absence.
no.
Oh, we had ideas. I had an idea. One idea. Exactly.
Alright, so she says, I must warn you, this land is dangerous, and all three of these towns, there are dark forces at play in all of them. I do hope you will be safe. I'd like to offer you more, but we really don't have much here.
I must ask, you claim you love these lands. What do you so love about them? You seem pretty adamant about how dangerous it is.
She looks you dead in the eye and just says, they're the only ones of importance.
Ah, this sounds fun. Which one is the most dangerous route?
She sort of, thinks for a moment, well, I suppose that depends on who you are and what type of danger. I imagine there's certainly more ne'er-do-wells and criminals if you go to Bighorn Haven. But then again, there is a bit of a war going on in Fort Thornbush.
What of Port Sumter? What of that town?
Fort Sumter's, the danger is a different kind of danger. It's not a danger where you may be harmed in a physical sense, but it's a danger of the spirit. It's a danger that may corrupt you to a dark place and change who you are.
And I believe that's the danger we need to know. And I, by the way, at this point, I take my head out from the map, like the map has kind of been covering my face, and you may notice that I am now wearing a completely different mask. This one only covers my eyes, and it's silver. So...
Actually, Neo, are you allowing me to do this? Wilhelm grabs the mask, tries to pull it off. What appears, Neo? What appears, Neo?
You pull it off, and underneath is somehow the bigger mask.
Wilhelm just looks closer. Strange.
May I have that back?
Yeah, sure. He just throws it over his shoulder while he walks out.
Yeah, I look away, and then I look back, and the silver mask is once again on my face.
So she says, so you plan to travel to Port Sumter then?
Port Sumter sounds like the town that might need me the most.
A word of warning then. It is fine if you engage with the Order, but do not trust them. In the end, they are as much fools as any.
The Order, you say?
Yes.
Can I roll spout lore on them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just when she mentions that name, I want to see if Roderick has heard tell of them before arriving. 8. He knows something interesting but not useful about the Order, which is yeah, that sounds right with what I've said before.
See, this is hard to figure out something that's not useful, but that Rod... Like, not useful... Well... Okay. The Order has... This is the latest generation of the Order. It has cropped up a few times in the past, and then sort of dissipated, and then re-emerged.
Eric, I just want to run something by you.
Yeah.
I have 3 pieces of gear to choose. One of the pieces I chose was 40 coin and a membership card to an organization of your choice.
Oh god.
That's fucking powerful.
I have a membership card to be earned.
The Order of Tomorrow, you can. I'm not sure if you want to make that decision just yet, but you can.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll decide on it later after we've seen.
Is it just like a is it just a blank business card that then just like transmogrifies into the
no,
Order?
it's just that as soon as I pull it out, then I assume. I guess this is.
It's just an index card where when he finds out about something, he just like writes on it, "I am member of."
Okay, but Eric, are you going to allow me to just decide what the membership card is to once
Yeah.
I've seen the place? But once I've seen the places, though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. I don't have to decide it right now.
No,
Alright, cool.
absolutely not. Yeah.
All right. But at the same time, it's only going to be to one place. I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
So I just kind of relate that back to like the Order. They've restarted again.
Yes, the Order of Tomorrow. They've grown greatly in power over the past 10 years or so.
Seems I'm 10 years too late for these lands then.
It's not to worry. They won't last. She grins.
I smile back, and then turn to White Mask. I feel I found my purpose here, and you want to head to Sumter as well.
Yep.
What of you then? I say.
Yeah, I need to go
Sensible.
somewhere.
That we
I
all
might
do.
as well tag along.
Alright.
The lady looks at you somewhat concerned. Do you have transportation? Is someone going to pick you up?
Actually, all Wilhelm does is takes up his foot and just points at it.
I look at her and say, no, I was actually going to get to that. Where would you recommend we buy a carriage of sorts?
Well, the building next door, they own the port, and they get a decent amount of their business from ferrying people to the nearby cities. I believe they also sell some supplies that we unfortunately cannot offer you.
That sounds like our best option, unless you don't mind walking.
I'd prefer.
If you intend to walk, it will take a great deal of time.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a day's walk in any direction.
Roderick
I'd
doesn't
like
seem all
to
that
get-
bothered by it, but then he looks at his 2 compatriots.
I'd like to get there as soon as we can. We'll see what the bill is. If it's good enough, I'll foot it.
That's actually a problem. I spent the last of my coin getting on that boat.
Actually, no, that was something I was going to say. I don't know how many of you have money, but if you don't, like, just everyone take 20 coin, just because you're going to need money at the start of this.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
I say it, at the moment I say that, 20 coin falls out of my pocket, and I just look down how foolish of me.
I was just kind of looking at him and I say, check your other pocket.
I reach. I just reach in. My. I'm not doing as badly as I thought.
She sort of smiles and sees, see, I knew you would be able to find your way.
I just walk out, and I turn to the White Mask, and I'm immediately concerned. I have to ask. Before we walked into that building, you seemed suspicious of something.
Yep.
Insofar as I can tell through a mask.
You're perceptive.
And I did not have this money before I went into that room.
Wilhelm looks kind of concerned, like, witchcraft. I've witches.
I suppose I shouldn't question a benevolent thing unless this money is shepherding me closer to a bad fate.
It seems I'm 20 coin up as well.
Wilhelm just puts his hand on Rodriguez's shoulder, like, money is never a bad thing.
Rodrigo.
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 That's my Spanish brother.
Rodrigo Chan.
No, it turns out there's. I'm actually talking to an NPC named Rodrigo. Just talking in the distance. Money is never a bad thing.
I turned to him talking to Rodrigo. He makes friends pretty easily.
I kind of just say that. I say like you're a man of faith. Surely maybe you. You're a man of faith, so this may disturb you, but I feel a strong supernatural force at play here.
You do? I didn't sense anything other than your discontent.
Oh, trust me, it's spread throughout the whole land.
It just hangs over everything?
Yes, this entire land right here is an arena, and there are several players.
I kind of like look out over one of the fields in front and say, well, I suppose I have my work cut out for me then.
Oh, have you exited the building then?
Yeah.
Alright, as you exit the building, you notice on a pole, a mast across from you at the docks, there is now a large raven staring at you.
Okay, I don't look out at the field as I say. I look at the raven as I say. I have my work cut out for me, and then it flies off, and it's really cinematic. The camera follows the raven.
All Willem does is looking at it like, that's a raven. Actually, I have a rope dart.
Oh my God.
I throw a rope dart at it.
I'm
I think
trying to think how to handle this in Dungeon World.
I think
The raven.
Okay.
Well, no, because Raven is. It's interesting you do that. Just that sort of triggers something. The Raven immediately takes off with somewhat incredible speed and flaps its wings and then just sort of disappears into a cloud of feathers.
Ah, the rare super raven.
That didn't seem at all super.
I look at that and say, guess it's not as subtle as I thought it was.
Roderick is just kind of confused. He kind of like looks between Wilhelm, looks at the white mask, and feels like he's a few steps behind both of them, but he's not quite sure why or how.
I never liked birds. You just hear Willimeter.
If you came here to bring faith to these people, I'm sure a lot of them will fall right for it.
There's no trickery in what I preach.
Birds.
But there is a comfort in it.
That there is. But it's benevolent. There's no ill devised in that. There's nothing to gain independently from it.
Actually, something, those peculiar birds with the skulls. Most of them are perched atop the building you were just in. One or two of them actually hop down and sort of like to the shoulder and the feet of White Mask and sort of not peck at him, but nudge at him with their skulls.
I just kind of shake them off.
Yeah, they hop away. They sort of might follow you around a little bit like chickens or something hopping along behind you, but other than that, they pose no aggression or threat.
How many people are around this port right now? Because we just got off a ship. Is it like not a very large group of people, just a few travelers besides
there
us?
are like there were just you were the only 3 passengers on the ship. The rest of the crew, maybe 6 or so people, are all still on the ship waiting for their people to show up to get them.
Oh, okay.
Willem is not looking pleased with the birds.
At this point, I opened the door to the second building where we were told we could get fare to Port Sumter.
Yeah, I follow along.
This building is considerably more light and well lit. There are windows that let in a decent amount of light. There are supplies on the racks, things like rations, rope, that sort of thing.
Any clerks?
Yes, there is a clerk. There is a man behind the counter. He has a large, unruly gray beard. He appears middle ages, maybe in his early 50s. Very withered face, and he sort of eyes you all as you enter.
I say, Is it morning, evening, afternoon?
It's about midday.
Alright. I say, good day, sir. How much for fare to Port Sumter?
Port Sumter ye be going. I say that be about 30 coin.
What a
Alright.
rip-off.
For the three of us?
Aye, 10 each.
Alright.
That's agreeable.
I still think we can walk.
Alright. I offer up 10 of my coin. And
I do as well.
Alright. I glance at Wilhelm.
Wilhelm just looks there. I still think we can walk.
You can
And
walk a
then he just-
lonely road.
Then he just grabs. Then he grabs 10 coins and just gives them up and says, "By the way, I'm putting that on your bill."
Alright. And
I'm talking to Mask and
I know.
And-
I just stare at you.
you don't think.
Alright,
I'm
he sort of eyes you suspiciously and seems to consider something for a moment, then just sort of shrugs and, with a rod, hammers upon the ceiling above him. Boy, we have customers! There is a series of footfalls as you can hear someone moving across the roof, then crawling down, and then entering the shop from the front. A small boy enters, and the man at the shop talks to him. Take these 3 to Port Sumter. He nods and just indicates for you to follow me.
Okay, I look at Wilhelm and Roderick and say, I came here stocked up on supplies. If you don't have any rations, or basic gear, I suggest you stock up.
I've
Well,
brought food.
Wilhelm takes out from his bag a very nicely packed little lunchbox with his dungeon rations. Says, "I have."
Then I do have like adventuring gear. I have adventuring gear.
I have dungeon rations and a health
I
potion.
actually don't. How much is adventuring gear?
A single use of adventuring. You can buy 1 use of adventuring gear for 5 coins.
5 coins.
I mean, I've got 5 uses.
Do you mean
coins.
Do you mean 1 for 5 coins?
No, you get, like, you buy adventuring gear, but it's only good for 1 use.
Oh, okay.
Each time it's useful is another 5 coins.
Steep place.
Stingy indeed. Well, I'm like, no.
Alright,
If
I
ye
guess-
not like me prices, ye can leave.
As he says, you can leave. Wilhelm has already left.
Yeah, I follow out without saying a word.
Yeah, I just walk out.
The man sort of glares after you and shakes his head.
Where's the boy?
Maybe
leading
mutters
us?
something about untrustworthy scum under his breath. So yeah, the boy leads you around back, and he shows you to a cart. There's a horse hooked up to it, and there's room for about 4 people, so you all fit fine. He sits at the front, in front of the seating area. Yeah. Alright, so the boy readies the horses, and you start riding west. The skullbirds follow you for a bit, flying in the sky, but quickly peel off and return to the shop.
Okay,
No, go ahead.
Okay. I look at Roderick and say, I don't know how long we'll be on the road, and I didn't pack any reading material myself. I'm assuming you have some spare Bibles with you?
Some spare. I gave
Yeah.
one to our fellow companion here, I say, as I kind of reach
Yeah.
under the gherkin and produce one. It's not
Alright.
the most hefty tome in the world. It's a good-sized book.
I kind of take it and I just start reading and say, I do have a passing interest in many a faith. I don't think I've ever read of this. I kind of look for a name of the religion on the book. Does it say on the book what the
It's-
Order of the Beckoning Father or anything, or does it just say Holy Book or whatever?
It just says Holy Book, basically, because the Order of the Beckoning Father, the name of the faith that unites them all, has pretty much been forgotten in petty squabbles.
Yeah.
So
I
everything...
I look around the book and say, the faith of, and I kind of like look up, trailing off.
And Roderick, without realizing the further question, thinking it's obvious, just says, the Beckoning Father.
Yes, Beckoning Father. I don't think I've ever read of it.
It was small even within its group. We started out as one of the stricter orders of our faith. With a few thousand years, that completely turned around. We're one of the more open, forgiving sorts nowadays, but old blood feuds did not go away in that time, while everything else changed. We're not the same people we were a few thousand years back, but the Order was still killed for what it was.
How many remain?
Only me. Or at least, I have not run into a single other of the faith. When it was clear that we were fighting a losing battle, I was told to flee my lands and make sure that the word of our faith survives just its own lands.
So at this point, the boy, who's been sort of half listening, he has a very curious nature, speaks up. So I guess that's why you're going to Port Sumter then? Trying to find a new order?
Trying to found a new order, that is the case. But I've heard that there's quite a bit of competition for ideals in those parts.
Well, yeah, sure. The Order of Tomorrow runs everything down in Port Sumter.
I do not wish to be their enemy, nor much of a competitor. I wish to coexist with them, if that's possible. Somehow I do not believe that would be the case.
The kid sort of turns around to look at you, confused, and in doing so sort of stops the car. And you're going to Sumter to do this?
I was told it would be difficult, but that's even more reason to go there.
The kid sort of laughs, and like now fully turns around, has completely stopped, and is looking at you. You really don't know what you're getting into, do you? Look, the Order is tomorrow. They're not the coexisting type, if you catch my drift.
As he stops, Wilhelm just leans over like, "Hey kid, less talking, more driving."
Oh, right, sorry, sir. And immediately turns around and starts driving again. I guess that explains... Oh,
sorry. I just want to note that most of the time, Roderick's side even when he's smiling, the kind of expression on his face is just tired. This is the best way to explain, just kind of world-weary and tired.
By the way, at some point along the journey, like, when there's like a bit of a quiet moment, I kind of elbow Wilhelm to get his attention. And then I open the Bible that Roderick gave me, and I just kind of point at a dirty word. That was it. Like, I don't know, jackass or something.
Roderick looks, and Roderick has read that book.
Does Wilhelm find it amusing?
He just looks at you.
I just want to know as well...
Then you just hear a single...
I want it noted as well, Roderick has read that book cover to cover so much that he sees how thick the book is, he sees him pointing out and sniggering to himself. He looks where he's pointing on the page and he immediately knows the word that he's laughing at. And you just kind of hear a very faint tutting.
But so the boy continues on. I guess that explains why you came to our little docks, though. Some missionary comes into Bighorn or Sumter trying to convert everyone off the boat. Would it make it far?
I assure you, I'm not your average preacher.
I assure you the Order is not your average cult, buddy.
They sound like an average cult to me.
Just Roderick exhales pretty heavily and just kind of like... This is basically stares dead ahead, not even acknowledging the boy at that point.
The boy continues to make just aimless chit-chat about nothing of any real importance, though, the rest of the way. He does keep on stopping and turning to face you and has to be reminded that he's supposed to be carrying you on.
Boy! And
Does he ever,
each time, Wilhelm is sounding more and more annoyed every time he stops.
Does he ever ask anything specifically of Wilhelm or White Mask?
Yeah, he probably asked, so what's with the weird mask, then?
It's like, I guess you could call it a gimmick. Really.
Where'd you get it?
Oh, a while ago.
How long ago?
More than a couple of years, less than a few.
Yeah, but how many? Specifically, I'm asking.
Specifically? What do you mean,
Yeah.
specific?
Exactly how many? The kid has completely stopped now.
I want to wait before we do anything else. I want to use one of my abilities to make this cart move. I want to use impassioned speech.
But then I gotta look at it and say exactly how many years, exactly how many miles.
You know, I have another idea, Snake, but I think you can go ahead. I had the idea that Wilhelm just eventually just took the reins himself.
You pour out your heart to this child with an impassioned plea. Please, we need to make it to this town. It's going to be dark soon. Could you please focus? And the kid just says, yeah, sure. And then continues just not driving the cart and talking.
Is he just like, is the kid just too caught up in fucking me avoiding the question?
Yeah, he's a curious kid.
You just hear Wilhelm said, I told you we should have walked.
And so, but eventually get the kid to continue. He rattles on about all sorts of things, his hobbies. He says that was his dad who ran the shop back there. He doesn't like sending me off to cart people who come in, because the people who come into our port are normally the people who don't want to be seen, don't want to be known about. So they're normally pretty shady characters. But my big bro went off to war, and now there's just me, so he doesn't really have a choice. I think that's why he's grumpy all the time now.
Well, with you as a kid, I can imagine.
He laughs. True. Eventually, around sunset, you finally make it to the town of Port Sumter. Now, this is a proper port. The coast here begins to curve in the distance, and far off on the horizon, you can see another patch of land. This seems to be a sound, a sort of bay, an inlet into the mainland, and here is a port on the side of it. There are lots of well-constructed buildings, mostly 2 stories, all high-angled roofs. You can see masts from tall ships on the other side of the buildings, and the lights are already started to be lit inside.
Alright. So, before we depart from, part ways with the kid, I do turn to him and I produce a older black mask that I don't use anymore, and I give it to him as a souvenir. There's a specific date, time, and place on it for where I got it.
Amazing. The kid is delighted to see this. He's, oh man, gee whiz. And puts it on immediately. It's obscuring most of his vision because it doesn't fit him, but he starts to cart off immediately. But you can see him sort of veering off the track.
Actually, before he leaves, Wilhelm just leads into and say, I will not give a good recommendation. I won't give a good recommendation about you.
Oh yeah, go on Yelp.
Give him a bad Yelp review.
Yeah, of course.
Just Wilhelm takes out a tiny laptop and just starts furiously typing away.
Roderick doesn't even really acknowledge the kid. He just kind of clambers off the car, just walks, and he just stares ahead at the city. He has never been to a city of this size before, so he's just kind of in awe of it.
Alright, so yeah, the streets are still fairly busy. There are a lot of artisans and merchants and sailors going about the place. Though more merchants and the like, some bankers too, things like that, and a few people wearing purple robes walking by. What do you do?
I actually immediately turn to White Mask. Again, awe of the city. I've never been to something like this before.
Okay, Wilhelm is gonna discern realities to try to find the nearest bar. Or tavern.
Okay.
Seems...
Sure. That's wisdom again, yeah?
Sure. Nope, you don't know where any bars or taverns or anything like that are, or can't figure it out by looking at the environment.
So
Do I
Roderick,
get, yeah, I get an XP for that.
So Roderick turns to White Mask and...
I actually say, I must confess as well, I've never been to a city of quite this size. It's mostly small hamlets and villages where I'm from.
This is so badly designed.
It sure is a trading post, alright.
Actually, you say it's badly designed. This is a very well laid out, very organized city. Everything's on a grid. It's all very navigable.
Yeah, that's why Wilhelm...
You're just a moron.
No, that's why Wilhelm finds it badly designed. He's so used to, European cities where everything is going all over the place.
I'd like to roll wisdom to see if I can figure out
Sure.
where the roll the certain realities, I guess. concerning me some realities, I am going to... Lost it again. I am going to... Okay, what here is useful or valuable to me?
What here is useful or valuable to you? What do you want? What are you looking for? What sort of things are...
I'm looking for a good place to, basically, I'm looking for a good place to, get some reliable, information and start rubbing, I don't know what the term is, like, damn.
Rubbing
Science
elbows?
on
Yeah, rubbing elbows.
information.
Start rubbing elbows. Good
You can hear some commotion from you can sort of, just by hearing it, you can sort of hear where the town square is. You also, just based on being more observation, I get words.
Observation.
You can tell you sort of see like, oh, there are probably some restaurants, that sort of thing, over by the docks where the weary sailors get off.
Alright, what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? Cult members of the Order of Tomorrow who are, very interested in strangers arriving to the city.
What here is not what it appears to be?
Not what it appears to be. Ooh, that's a good question. What is not what it appears to be? Many of the people, there are a lot more people who are members of the cult than it first appears. Like, you see, like, maybe 2 people, like, in robes, but those are by no means the only members of the cult.
Alright. I kind of, turn to Roderick and say, you have more competition than it seems. The people in the robes are just the people who are out and about as members of the Order. Almost everyone here is a member of the Order.
I didn't say it would be easy, but give it time.
If you want a place to start, though, and I point in a direction of the town square. Town square is that way.
I just I'm considering, do I just go and start yelling at people? I need to... The tenets of my faith is that I get followers by good deeds, by proving the virtuosity of our actions.
Random acts of charity, maybe?
That might be, but I do need an ill to fix in this town. The issue is, it looks like there may be so many that I don't know where to begin.
We could go to one of the local watering holes. There, and there. Again, pointing in the direction of restaurants and taverns.
That might be as good a place as any to start. I can't go... According to what that child said, I can't just go and start yelling it from the rooftops that I do not believe with their faith.
Okay, so, Eric, can you tell me what the nearest tavern or restaurant I pointed at is?
The nearest one.
Yeah.
Ooh, I need to come up with a name for it. The Stout Fellow is the name of it.
That is a good name.
I think it should be the Arm Long Tavern.
No. This is,
Stout Fellow, that sounds like something that could be franchised.
Alright, it's not really so much... It's definitely not like a bar tavern. This is one of the more... It's sort of a pub-type place, a lot of tables, that sort of thing. This is where a lot of the merchants from the ships come. Not necessarily the sailors, but, the wealthier people who own the boats. When they're visiting, a lot of them meet here.
Alright, I kind of point there and say, that's the place with... I think that would be the place with the most people of note.
Then, let us begin.
Yeah. I have already started walking towards the Stout Fellow.
What? I need
Alright.
I just, pull out an itinerary, and you just kind of see one of the first things at the top of the itinerary is find printing press. As I just realized my supply of Bibles isn't that great.
Alright, so yeah, you walk in, the hostess is there in front of you. Hi, welcome to the Stout Fellow 3 this evening.
Oh, you followed us here, I say, turning to Wilhelm.
Wilhelm just goes, I need a drink. And besides, you owe me money for that trip.
She laughs with fake laughter and says, this way, please. and starts walking towards the table inside.
Actually, Eric, since Wilhelm, I haven't given up a specific height, but he's still towering over these other two. Does he have to bow down every time he heads to the door?
That's up to you. I mean, they're standard door height.
I think this one he just bows down just a little.
Like, I just want to note as well, the moment everyone sits down, I start scanning the room for who looks to be a traveller and not a local resident.
Ooh, okay. Roll the some realities.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is probably the most evangelizing bullshit I think I'm going to do in this game, but this is just Roderick kind of... Oh, damn it.
Oh my god.
I'm good, by the way, I'm still going to go ahead with my next action, I just don't get anything. Actually, do I start on 1 XP or 0?
I think you started at
I'm
0.
not sure.
I would like to spout lore on the menu.
I started at 0 at least.
Alright, I'll just say I've got 1 XP now because I failed 1 roll.
Can I spout lore on the menu?
You failed an impassioned speech as well.
Oh yeah, okay, 2 XP. It was 1 XP. No, wait, 0, 1, yeah, 2. Okay, so, basically, what do I get out of that? I was like, I try and look around for who looks to be a traveller and not a local, but obviously I've only been here for 5 minutes.
Yeah, for the most part, you can't tell. I will tell you something you do notice just from looking around. There is one guy at a table sort of in the corner who looks pretty nervous and fidgety. Other than that, you can't really tell who's a merchant and who's just a local merchant.
I kind of like get up, walk over and ask, what troubles you, fellow?
He looks at you and just says, who are you?
I am Sir Roderick Chalet.
Look, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not interested. I'm fine.
Okay, you can say no to me considering how recent it was that I did my last one, but may I do another Discern Realities?
Yeah, no, you can do a Discern Realities on this guy.
Okay. 7. I get 1. I get 1. I've got to make it a good one. I guess what here is not what it appears to be. It's just the most obvious.
What is not what it appears to be? Trying to think what isn't what it appears to be.
Actually, no. Can I change it?
Sure. Yeah.
What is about to happen?
What is about to happen? A waitress is about to come and ask if you're both doing okay in a somewhat nosy manner.
Roderick again just kind of sheepishly goes, yes, everything's fine here. I turn and walk back to the table and just look to the white mask to see if he was watching that.
Huh? A waitress asks for if you have any drink orders.
Okay. I would like to spout lore on the menu to see what the most
Sure.
impressive thing to order would be. Like, I want to order like a wine so fine that people will be impressed.
This
My
isn't
wine
quite the
knowledge.
restaurant that would have a super fine wine. It's not that. It's
Okay,
not quite
okay.
that high class. This is
Well,
like.
I just want to see what the best thing to order is.
Okay.
Okay.
Like this is the restaurant equivalent of like an Olive Garden, I guess I should say. Like,
That's a reference that doesn't go for me. Like, isn't that just like inauthentic Italian?
Okay,
yeah, sort of.
I
Yeah,
learned
it's-
something interesting, but not useful.
What's on the menu? Let's see.
You learn that the
um,
menu is printed on pulp paper.
There's a local food that's quite popular using a specific type of bivalve that grows pretty much only in this area.
I order
That's
that.
somewhat of a local.
Fuck it.
Alright, yeah.
How much does it cost?
That 3 gold. And she sort of says, oh, you... Good. I'm assuming you're out of towners?
That
Yep.
is correct.
Yes.
That's a popular food. People have traveled from all over just to try that.
And I say, yes, I believe I've met some well-traveled people who've been there and spoken highly of this food.
Wasn't that just great? She grins even
Does
more.
she ask? Does she ask the others too?
Yeah, she asks everyone for...
I just order a beer and
Willem just looks and says, ale.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I'll see what I can find, and then goes back behind the counter or behind the doors.
I turn to White Mask and say, I believe the best in people, but I think she was being sarcastic with you.
Fate.
It's like, every single thing she's said so far has been completely insincere. She's a waitress.
As long
Alright,
as she gives me what I order, I don't care.
A little while later, two waitresses, the one you've had and another one, both come out and bring you your food and your beers. You both were given the exact same beer. There was no different thing. That was...
Oh yeah, food. That kind of forgot to order. Well,
yeah. Well,
retroactively, Willem just said steak.
we have two different types of steaks.
Steak.
Would you like to? Okay.
I want steak.
Can I have a steak or two steaks? Can I have
And
both?
they both retreat behind the thing. Everybody roll wisdom.
Oh, by the by, this whole time I have been keeping my eye on that person. I've been keeping my eye on that fidgety guy.
Okay, so yeah, this Wilhelm is just completely oblivious. Roderick and White Mask, you do sort of notice that, like, they were eyeing you sort of suspiciously when they came out that time.
I do actually, in that case, I do actually warn Wilhelm. I turn to him and say that I don't believe they completely trust us.
Uh-huh. As long as they do the services we pay them to do, I don't care.
I actually look at the White Mask, I notice he's picked up on that as well, and I ask, it might be a religious thing. Are you sure you're okay travelling about with me in this town?
No, like I said, I like to see how things change.
Okay, yeah. Your food, or do you eat it first of all?
Of course. I paid for this.
I'm going to discern realities on it.
Okay.
I just want to. Yes.
Fine. Ask your three
I'm
questions.
gonna ask what here is useful or valuable to me. Specifically, I'm looking for which part of the food tastes the best.
Oh yeah, that's the issue.
That would be the sort of meaty part inside of the shell.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, what here is not what it appears to be. I want to see if they're pulling some pink slime shit on me. Aaron.
That there is a dessert spoon, not a tablespoon.
On the menu, they talked about how it was grilled on an open fire, but you realize it's not. They just, like, put it on a hot piece of metal. They were, and, like, then just sort of branded black marks on. It wasn't actually grilled on an open fire.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Who's really in control here?
Who's really in control here? That's interesting. Someone you haven't seen. There is someone who's definitely in control here who has not made themselves present. Probably the manager of the restaurant.
Okay, I call forth the waitress. I'm not eating right now.
No one comes.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm,
Willem just looks at your food. You're not gonna eat that?
Actually,
no.
did the beer cost me anything?
Oh yeah, the beer was 1 coin each.
Okay.
Damn, how much was the food?
I should... The food was, Oh, the steak you ordered? Well, she hasn't said yet. I mean, you'll get your bill at the end.
Okay,
That's
alright.
it. You haven't paid your gold yet. That was just how much it cost.
Okay.
Eric, I just want you to know, like, I want to do something a bit fucky, so I should probably run it by you.
Okay.
I want to pull back the curtain on that fucking lie about the open fire grilling.
I mean, okay.
I want to call them out on fucking poisoning this shit.
You don't have any audience to do this to. Like, you can reveal this to Rod and Will.
Okay,
Wait, aren't there other
alright,
people
cool.
eating and drinking in here besides us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about on, like, because this is the most popular food in the restaurant, I'm gonna pull back the curtain and say it's cooked and it makes people sick. And I'm going to reveal that to Roderick. It's an ill, after all.
Okay.
Yes, okay, I, elbow Roderick in the side. And I point at the food that was delivered. This is the most popular food in the... This is the most popular food in the restaurant.
Looks like a slab of burned meat.
Yes, the menu said it's grilled over an open fire. However, this is clearly put on a hot plate, and furthermore, I look at it. It's not cooked quite right. This thing makes people sick.
And why is it the most popular menu item?
Why indeed? Maybe they're poisoning the populace.
Roderick's
am
not sure how to
it's not that
process
they're
that.
poisoning people. Like, this is just you got an undercooked thing, and it's bad for you. Like,
I'm really.
and you're that's just you. That this is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Roderick says, poison? You don't mean actual poison, do you?
No, it's undercooked. There's food poisoning.
Wilhelm just looks up with like his whole steak in his mouth, like,
You haven't
I don't-
gotten your steak yet. Your steak has not come.
I say, do you want me to go and question them about this? Yes, I will go and make an impassioned
But
speech
before-
check against the kitchen staff if I need to.
All right.
I
Before you even have a chance to get up, that fidgety guy sort of walks past you and, like, out the side of his mouth whispers to you, "They're watching you. You're not safe." And he just walks straight past you and goes into the bathroom.
Oh, damn it.
I kind of like get up to complain. I immediately just put the plate back down on the table and I like walk off in the direction of the bathroom after him.
We've
Okay,
angered salmonella.
You hear... Actually, roll discern realities on me, Rod.
Rod.
Rod. Hey, Rod.
Oh,
I can't really run into... Can Rodrigo Chavez please be a recurring NPC?
If you went to the wrong town to meet Rodrigo Chavez, but
I was about to say I went to the wrong bathroom.
Alright, roll discern realities again for picking the right bathroom, men or women's.
Are you joking right now?
I was joking, yes. No, you're not.
No, but Eric,
Not
I'm
that
talking
bad.
about the guy that Wilhelm talked to Rodrigo.
So yeah, you're going into the bathroom that he went into?
Yeah, I follow along after him. I kind of like put
How
my
much of a distance do you leave?
a good like 2 or 3 meters, like definitely in his stride, but like giving him breathing room, of course. Like I'm not making it a secret to him that I just followed after him immediately afterwards.
Okay, yeah. You enter the bathroom, you sort of notice, like, one of the stalls slamming shut just as you enter. Yeah, the others, like, 3 stalls are open. There's a very primitive basic sink type thing.
I look around, like there's no other entrances or exits, not like a window that leads out onto the street, is there?
There is a window sort of up top, a sort of opening pretty high up.
I look at it and just kind of know whether I could squeeze out of that or not. I'm definitely not planning on it, that is a last ditch, but I just look at it.
Probably not. No,
Probably not.
You would have trouble fitting through there.
Okay,
White Mask might be able to, but he'd be the only one.
Yeah,
Pretty skinny.
I just consider that for option ditch it, and then I go into the stall next to the one he just slammed shut in, and I just ask, who's watching?
You are greeted with silence.
Just, again, exhale. It's been nothing but cryptic shit ever since I arrived here, and I'm a holy man, so I don't use that word lightly. Who's watching me?
There is still nothing. Oh no, actually I'll leave that up to you. Never mind. Yeah, there's just absolutely nothing. You just hear an eerie silence coming from the stall.
I'm gonna do impassioned speech. I just turn to him and say, listen, you're clearly concerned as well, and if you've just told me, you've put yourself in danger as well as I have done by coming here. If you tell me who's watching me right now, I swear to protect you, should ill come of it.
You hear some ruffling.
can I roll for the impassioned speech check?
Oh yeah, roll
Yeah.
for the impassion. Sorry, no.
Yeah, it's fine.
I thought you.
That was just me leading up to the check.
Yeah. Sorry.
6.
Oh,
Like, he's not
Never mind.
biting.
You don't hear ruffling.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
I'm gonna give that to you. Just
it's fair that the check doesn't make it. But yeah, I
I'm
get.
disappointed that didn't make it.
I wait for a few seconds and then say, "That silence is your answer." Fair enough. I just get up, exit the stall, and head back out into the restaurant itself.
Oh, by the way, Eric, we forgot this is a populated place that I've entered for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wait. Do you get to decide who they mistake you for, or do I get to decide that?
Oh yeah, I get to decide.
Okay, yeah.
But let's do that when we get to the town square.
Okay.
At the restaurant.
I sit back down at the table and I tell Wilhelm and White Mask, we're being watched.
Like almost
fun.
on cue, like right after you say that, a large man sort of appears behind you, an older gentleman, white hair, a bit heavy set, and with a very sort of like with narrow sort of squinty eyes, but a big grin on his face, and he sort of slaps his hand down on Rod and White Mask shoulders, and welcome to wait, no shit, that's wrong. Welcome to Port Sumter, boys. I hear you're new in town.
You hear?
Oh yeah, Darla told me, our waitress, she's a great girl. So, is this your first night here in town?
First afternoon.
Sure.
Actually, I'm going to look at him, and can I just pull Mask of Myth now, actually?
Sure.
Okay, the great hero I am mistaken for. So I'm just going to run this by you. I have an idea that maybe before the Order of Tomorrow took charge, there was, like, another cult running things around here. And they were... Is that okay with you? Before?
There was not another cult here in place before.
Okay, not another cult. Okay, maybe there was, like, some fuckers. God damn it.
This used to be much more under control of the, like, kingdom itself. Like, the actual government had
Okay.
The cult
So,
sort of taken over.
one of the government's, can we say that then the government's, person they had here, mayor or whatever, was, like, basically kind of a despot.
Sure.
Alright, but this is before the Order came in and took hold, and they mistake me for the man that led the revolutionary charge to overthrow him, which then laid the foundation for the Order to come in later.
Oh, that's something I have to make a very... Wait. Oh, I see. So you'd be a government person who overthrew the person that was there, and then the Order took over.
Yeah, the Order took over after that happened, when I was already
Okay.
gone.
I
That
see.
is the hero I am mistaken for.
You want to give him a name?
I can't think of a name. So, you think of one?
No.
Darius.
It's your character, Darius. There. Fine. All right.
Yeah, yes, Darius. You know what? Yeah. Darius the Zealous. Let's call him that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. There is no like change. They don't. No one appears to recognize you so far.
Okay.
But yeah, that's your masking. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, don't get like you in character would realize. Actually, I need to ask you a question. With how this works, are you planning on being surprised with who people recognize you as, or this is intentional? People should recognize you as this specific person.
I know I have the Mask of Myth, so I'm expecting it to happen at some point, but I don't know specifically who I am.
Okay, and so yeah, it probably seems odd to you. No one's really recognized you since you showed up here. That's actively odd to you that people should be recognizing you.
Yeah.
All right, but so yeah. So this your boys' first night here in town.
Yeah.
Actually, is it night now? Wasn't it? Oh no, it was afternoon before we left.
It was sort of midday when you left. It was sunset when you got here, and it's basically dusk now.
I say I believe so. I'll be honest, I travel around so much, a lot of populated areas tend to blend together. If I have been here before, it's certainly changed a lot.
Really? So, what's your boys' business here in town? As he sort of sits down at your table.
Killing creatures, making money, the usual.
I'm
That a fact?
I'm just a wanderer, really.
I'm much the same, a nomad.
That type of guy. They call you the Wanderer.
Well, Port Sumter's a good place for that. It's a real great town we got here. Real quiet, real nice, real peaceful. I wouldn't trade the world for it.
I just,
So you... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just basically staring at the guy, just after what the guy in the bathroom told me. I'm looking for any kind of signs of affiliation that he might have.
You want to discern realities?
Let's do us discern realities again. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Ask 3 questions
Nice.
about...
If this, I mean, I'm a religious guy. I recognize a religious guy. So,
Okay.
what here is useful or valuable to me?
What here is useful or valuable to me? This guy is fairly powerful. And, you know, but he doesn't necessarily... He doesn't trust you, but he's not hostile towards you, necessarily.
Okay, so I kind of I
He's
glean
more
that there.
curious than anything.
So I just kind of glean. Oh, he doesn't think I'm. He doesn't. Because I was really terse with my answer a second ago about what I'm doing here.
Oh, by the way,
Like
I
dodge.
He
just...
saying
mistrusts
religious.
you, but he doesn't know you're bad news.
I feel like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna, just to point this out, like, if he's, like, mistrusting me specifically, when I said that I may have been here before, I do have the nothing is certain. Which means that if I tell a half-truth or a lie, it is accepted as fact. If anyone doesn't have
Well,
a history
that's-
with me.
Okay, okay, fine.
So he would have no reason to...
Already
not
your
shoot
abilities
me.
have gotten so fucking complicated with, like, throwing at each other. Like,
Oh,
no, you don't
man.
understand from a GM's that trying to do, like, the math on how I have to make people act because of this.
Bearing in mind that he's not hostile but mistrusts me, what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? Other people in the Order who might move in and make a move on you soon.
Oh my!
Who's really in control here?
He is. He is absolutely in control of this situation to a honestly quite frightening degree.
Alright, I don't let my guard down, but I do relax a little, so I just double down on that. I've travelled between many places, but never been to a town quite as large as this one.
Oh, is that a fact? Well, if you're looking for a big city, I have to say, probably the one place nicer than here, even more impressive, is a town up northeast a little bit. Shit, I have to come up with a name for this place. Give me a second. Shit. Sorry, just give me a bit.
It's a town known as Kewald. You can't miss it.
Ah,
Oh, just... You gotta go up to the Diamond City. It's beautiful.
Diamond City?
Diamond
Yes,
City.
Diamond City.
It's gonna swata.
They call it that because it really is just a diamond in a rough. I tell ya, it's unfortunate, but a lot of this country's nasty place. Some real awful people have a lot of control here, but we try and make the best of it, and our capital, Diamond City, it's beautiful. The buildings all stretch up higher than you've ever seen. The streets are all paved with perfectly fitted stone. There are trees, parks. It's absolutely gorgeous. I gotta recommend you go there.
Is
I
there,
will put it on my itinerary.
is
I must-
there an Emerald City?
No.
I must confess something. While I had not heard much good of Grimwood from outside this country, it's only since I've arrived here I've truly heard the place hated.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens when you live in a place like this. I tell you, the place used to be a lot better, but it's this damn Brotherhood that's been ruining everything, pardon my language.
Damn
I
Brotherhood.
kind of speak up, like, after, like, kind of eyeing him cautiously. You speak highly of this place. Tell me, what's your role here? Everyone has a job, after all.
Oh, I'm just the manager at this restaurant. I might belong to one or two little social clubs, and, I'm an active community in the church, if you will, but I am just a humble restaurant manager.
The
You-
church. You're
yes,
referring to
you-
the order.
As you've spoken up, it was almost like he genuinely sort of forgot you were there for a second, and it sort of seemed like he was opening up to you a little bit. He seemed sincere when he was talking about the cities, but he's sort of gotten a bit squintier again and is back to being a bit mistrustful.
I just pick up on something. You say you do not like the Brotherhood, but you work for the church. What church is this?
Well, the Order of Tomorrow, of course. It's the one true order. It's everything. You don't know of the Order of Tomorrow?
And I say, we've heard plenty of the Order of Tomorrow. It's the Brotherhood it's the Brotherhood that we're in the dark about.
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
The man sort of eyes you a bit quizzically, then says, "The Brotherhood is a band of heretics. They are a group of criminals and liars and deceivers. They revel in pornographic materials. They are truly obscene. They're ruining
yeah.
this great nation.
Is that is the
This great kingdom. Sorry.
Is that their full name? Did they call themselves something other than the Brotherhood?
They call themselves the Brotherhood of Life. The Brotherhood of Death would be more appropriate, if you ask me.
I see. Any idea where they may be based out of?
Oh, well. God damn it. I have to come up with a new fucking... Shit, give me a minute.